We got Breezy here. Come on, man. You're on national television.
National.
Not just national internet. You know what I mean?
It's a difference.
How's it feel that you're on a new television show, All
You
American?
keep crossing your camera.
Don't worry, we'll add some pictures of yourself and videos and B-roll. You know, your lovely camera woman right there, or visual director. That's a better terminology. She'll explain all the, fanciness behind it. Breezy, you're on television, new show, All American.
Yep.
How's it feel to be on a new show? Normally, people get on one show and then they try to figure it out, but you're working actively.
Yeah, it feels good to be on a new show. I'm happy to be doing something, or having taken on a character that has a little bit more dynamic to her, instead of just,
I mean, how is it? Because, you're comfortable in a role. Now you're learning a new role. Some actors, they like staying in one role, and some people like to keep switching it up. Where do you fall in line?
I'm interested in just trying whatever I can. I think to just do the same thing over and over gets a little boring. You know what I'm saying? So that's one reason why I love this role, is that I get to, add more personality to the character, and it's not so strict. You know what I'm saying? It's not so cookie cutter. They are very open to me bringing, whatever I want to her. So
interesting. You have that much creative, directive control on you.
I mean, it's just like we a team. So, a few minds has always been better than one. So
you ain't
and I
lying
think
about
we all
that.
just look at it like that, and everybody's able to bring, splash a little bit of whatever they want, in their character. So
what made you gravitate towards this role of All American as we break down this show and this new experience for you?
I think it was more so just the portrayal of what my character has to deal with and what she goes through. I think the story, her story as far as her coming out, being in the LGBT community. One thing about the show is that we touch on real life topics, so
and it's super relatable in your real life.
And
okay.
Relatable. So for me, it was like, okay, cool. But while we doing it, if you read, once I read the script, I'm like, okay, they really telling the story. They not sugarcoating it. They not doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I was able to just be raw and uncut and be,
Is it important for you to, get your message across from the LGBT community on camera anytime you can?
I think it's not, I don't zero in on that, but I feel like anything, we gotta tell it how it is, like whatever it may be.
Let's go in a couple of directions, because, in New Jersey, a lot of people felt offended because now, LGBT and, gay history will be taught in the classes, and people felt like that shouldn't be going in that direction. What perspective can you give about that? Because people are like, what history? Why we gotta go in that direction? I'm like, I like to look at things both ways.
I mean, as cliche as it sounds, people fear what they don't understand. So if we were never taught about our own history, we probably wouldn't understand why we are treated certain ways, or why our grandparents, or the stories that we may hear within our families, we would never be able to understand that if we weren't taught about it. And the same way goes for other cultures, other religions, all of that. So I think it's just one of them things.
You think people say it's an unfair comparison to compare the struggles of how everybody in the LGBT community has gone through versus what, the systematic slavery oppression that's been put upon. Can you bridge the gap to give, because people are like, you can't compare the two, and you're living both.
But why are they saying you can't?
I think it's just like, all right, you can't tell what a person's sexual preference is by looking at them, no matter how, whatever the stigma might be. But I can look at you and be like, you're black. That's really the foundation from that standpoint.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Our skin is black. Our skin is black.
I understand.
So that's like, but we can't look at a criminal and tell he's a criminal.
That's true, but should we sit there and minimize what a criminal is going through or accentuate what they're going through based on their activity?
No, I don't think we should minimize it. I mean, but it is what it is, and the bottom line to that is everybody gonna go through something, and we don't come with info cards, and it's not written in script across our bodies when you meet us. You know what I'm saying? So everybody goes through their thing, and I think the important thing is to just be understanding. And I don't I know a lot of people who in jail for, double life or whatever, but these were good people. You're not born that way. You're not born bad.
What were you doing before you got all the fame? I've heard that you were a barber,
Yeah. I was cutting hair.
Oh.
I was cutting hair. I was still doing music. But I was just young, living my life, figuring it out.
You was cutting dudes' hair, girls' hair?
Guys, yeah. I worked in a barbershop in Atlanta for 10 years, and I loved it.
Really? What was so enjoyable about that experience?
Just making people look good.
Of course.
You know, I mean, it's just a level of confidence that you get when you get out the barber chair or the hair salon or your nails done or you get that new outfit. You know what I mean? It's just like, you know,
your drip different.
Yeah, you could really turn someone's day around with that. You know, and I'm such a people pleaser, and I think that for me, that was just the ultimate satisfaction.
I see you got the brands on you, and you know, everybody's been going at Gucci and the clothing brand for, you know, their portrayal of what the image of the clothing. What's your thoughts on that? Because you're stylish on a different level. Like the edge control on your baby hairs. You know, I lost my hair a long time ago. You know what I mean? So, I had a dream. I woke up, and I thought the hair grew back.
Yeah, the fro.
Man, when I got to the mirror, I'm like, you know.
You had a mosquito bite, realized you was really scratching your scalp.
You know, but like, what's your thoughts on how everything's been going on with the clothing brands?
To be 100% honest with you, I have been so busy, I have not been able to read about that. I mean, of course, I scroll through social media and seen it, but I have not been able to dive into it and explore it to really comment on it. I don't.
Do you think the high-end brands really appreciate like people of our color's contribution the right way? Because our dollar is more powerful than anybody. Our spending dollar.
Like I said, I really can't say. I don't know. I don't know because I've had designers of all flavors and colors treat me like a queen. So I don't.
Your energy's inviting.
And thank you. I just don't know, and I'm very much a person that I deal with you how you deal with me. You know what I mean? You treat me nuts. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like if you a snake to him, I really can't. I can't. You ain't snake me, so I don't. Yeah. You know what I mean? We don't become naive, but it's just like I don't know. I've had people, and still, I mean, I'm in New York for Fashion Week, and I have a number of designers in all shapes, sizes, and colors that love Breezy. So I appreciate that.
Of course, as you should.
But I don't know.
So you know what the boycott of Gucci then?
I can't. It would be premature
to understand what's going on.
Yeah, it's for me to comment on it because I don't really know everything that's going on.
Right.
I seen a picture, I seen words from a number of people, and that was it. But then I also seen a picture of Beyonce with the same thing that they was talking about. So then I was like, wait, what?
People were saying nobody
when
ridiculed.
I got confused, I go to sleep. So
me too. When it's too much text messages, it's overwhelming.
I wasn't able to really get into it.
Are you one of those that leave people on read, when the messages come through?
My red's not even on.
You are a terrorist, B.
It's not on. That's just too much. I mean, the way technology is, it's just too accessible. And you're not gonna know when I just looked at my phone
and hit you later.
No, because remember when you had a beeper and you had the beep, like you gonna get that call back. I think people called you back when they beeped you quicker than they do seeing you actually call now on your cell phone.
Yo, you dropped the gem right there. You ain't lying. Run to the payphone. Where the cord is at?
Yo, you beat me?
You know, back in the day, right, those payphones in New York City, you could use certain keywords to get free phone calls. One of them was 1-800-PUSSY.
That's a New York scam. I don't know.
No, for real.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, this is old payphones. You put 1-800-PUSS and then Y 3 times. Hit the pound and the star.
Who taught you that?
Criminals. And 1-800-FUCK-YOU too worked.
Wow.
And then you be able to have long extended phone calls. Musically, let's talk about you musically.
My mom didn't want me at payphone.
Well, that's where the transactions happen, Breezy. You know
that's
that.
What she said. Put your finger in there.
It's evidence all over the place. Musically, man, how are you enjoying, distributing your music, being an artist? What was your thoughts on the Grammys? I want to hear everything.
I told you I've been busy. I didn't watch the Grammys. I pulled up Drake's speech because I'm a Drake. I'm probably Drake's #1 fan, or maybe #7. But I love, Drake.
What was it about his speech that resonated with you?
just the obvious, and a lot of people think that you have to, you can only be validated by these type of things, by these awards or, different, accolades. But, I think he was 100% accurate in saying as long as people are streaming and playing your music and showing up to your events or your appearances and your shows, like, you won. You know what I'm saying? Because you a fish out the water. Don't nobody know you. You know what I'm saying? But you put out a song and it's on SoundCloud and you had, I don't care if you had 12,000 streams, you did something.
That's 12.
You know what
12,000
I'm
is
saying?
12,000.
So I think he just shed light on the importance of that. Something is better than nothing. But this doesn't guarantee it, because there's a lot of people every year that win Grammys that we never heard of.
That's
You know what I'm saying? Or win awards and we never heard of them. So I think that, he just gave a lot of encouragement in that few seconds that he spoke, or a minute and a half that he spoke. He gave a lot of encouragement to the up-and-coming artists, and I appreciate.
Because one thing right now, there's a lot of people making fun of Nicki because she ain't never won a Grammy and Cardi won it, and I'm just like, why is that the subject matter? You feel me?
I don't know. At this point, I don't even know what these awards are based on. I don't even know. I don't know what makes you win a Grammy. I'm not on the committee.
I think likability, man. I think it's the time-age thing. I like the person more than the other person. That's never gonna go away.
I mean, I think given Cardi's just glow up, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
I don't disagree.
Makes sense. She went from 0 to 1 million in no time, and I think that if anything, she should have got the fastest blow up award, if not the Grammy. You know what I'm saying? The fastest rise. She came up quick. But I don't know why Nicki didn't get one either, because she had the same type of run when she got here.
Man, what do you enjoy the most as a creative individual? Because you style people, you create rhythms for people to enjoy. You're acting, you're giving your different personalities. What drives you to be this creative person? Because that's just, I like hearing things like that.
I think I'm driven by just freedom, the freedom to do. And luckily I've been in situations where I'm able to, or people respect my opinion. I mean, sometimes it's not, everybody can't sit here and tell you that they get, input on the creative control of anything, because it's just not the business we in. You know what I'm saying?
That's
People
true.
have a vision. You either gonna come, you do it, or you're not.
Or you
know
get
what I'm saying?
replaced.
Yeah, so for me, I think I'm driven by just the freedom to be able to do what I want and showcase my talent in whatever way. And it translates on television and through my music. I just do whatever.
Let's talk about All American and Empire before we close this out. All American, I was reading the one sheet they sent me of the story. It was quite interesting of the story, man. And can you give a little background of the show too as well, and why people need to check it out on the CW network?
Well, we have the story is based on a true story of a football player named Spencer Paysinger. I don't know if you know him. He played for y'all, I think. I think he played for the Giants at one point.
What year? I'm trying to remember.
I'm not sure. He's retired now, but it's based on his story. He grew up in Inglewood, in the Crenshaw area, and it's just his road to success and everything it took to get to that point. And a lot of people think that a lot of people don't pay attention to your in between, and they don't give a damn about your before. You know what I'm saying? They kind of it's just the present. You don't know what it took or whatever you was doing before you was able to actually sit in the seat and hold interviews with celebrities. Nobody cares what you was doing
I don't
before.
give a fuck.
You know what I mean? So what
They just think you got a cheat code and you were lucky or whatever. Some ridiculous
But
nonsense.
this guy actually really went through hell. He went through a lot, and he was able to. I guess he got to a point where he really wanted to put his story out there, and I think that it was perfect timing. He said he had been developing for years, 3-4 years, but it finally got to a point where, they could make it a thing, and it's just, we have about 8 main characters, and every story is just relevant to today with everything going on, our depression and suicide, and the drug use, and the LGBT stuff. We got the police brutality things, and I think everything that they chose to write about and display that he went through way back then is perfect in today's climate. So that's what our story goes through. I happen to be his best friend. Her name is Tamia Cooper. And
Coop is the nickname of
Yeah, Coop. And she's just he ends up in a predicament where he's able to leave the hood and move to Beverly Hills to better his chances at being the star football player that he dreams of. So we watch everything that he has to battle with in those two worlds. Because you going to a 10-bedroom crib in the hills, eating sushi for dinner, while we over here in the dark eating oodles and noodles. You know what I'm saying? So as a man, as a growing young man, he struggles a lot.
Nah, I like that. Empire. Did you like the way your character was taken off the show?
She wasn't taken off. To be clear,
she wasn't.
She wasn't. No, she wasn't written off. We haven't had like a closing story of Free to Gas.
You talking comic book talk with me? You know how it goes in the comics. It ain't dead until it's officially.
It's gotta be official. We gotta see obituary or something. We gotta see a paperwork from it. Yeah, but she came out of jail and she came out of jail, and I think the last thing we seen was a performance with her and Exhibit's character in like a block party, like a Stop the Violence peace thing. So there's definitely room to bring her back. I'm not sure what the plan is, but I'm here for whatever.
Dream roles, dream collabos for music, things that's on your bucket list as we close this out, Breezy. I know there's things that drive you, because I hear your passion is very subtle, so I know you have checklists of things you want to, demolish.
I'm gonna do everything I can. I want to work with Kanye. I want to work with Jay. I want to work with Drake. I want to work with Meek. I would love to work with Lauryn Hill.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of her.
Well.
No, not to minimize her impact.
No.
But
you can't minimize it.
But we're not gonna get into this.
I love Lauryn Hill. I would love to work with her. Of course, so many great people. I would love.
Acting wise, any particular roles?
I want to do a comedy role. I do want to do a comedy, and then I want to do like a G.I. Jane.
Okay. Let's work this. You could do a comedy where you play Kevin Hart's sister. I could see this.
That would be ill.
Let's think of a storyline. Damn, Kevin Hart's done played mad shit.
I would love to see Kevin Hart take his comedic factor away and really be like
interesting.
Yeah. If I play Kevin's sister, Kevin has to convince me that like life ain't a joke. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's lived his life making jokes. You know what I'm saying? But I would like to see him in a real...
With no comedic factor at all.
None.
You know what?
None. If I'm his sister, you can't be just like, we can't be too... It has to be...
But I could tell when the camera's off, you snap differently, Breezy. Like, if somebody's talk to you differently, your machine gun is I could tell.
I think that would be good, though. But I wouldn't mind that.
G.I. Jane, what military movies coming out? I could see you.
You know they coming out with a Coming to America too. That would of course be comedic.
That'd be interesting. Now we're gonna be on the lookout for, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We got Breezy live on This Is 50. Let them know where they can find you at, everything that you got going on.
Y'all can definitely catch me every Wednesday on the CW, 9 o'clock, All American airs. And follow me on my social media at Breezy Official, BREZ Official. We're about to drop real soon. We got music coming soon, visuals. We got a bunch of stuff. I've been loading the clip up for some years now. So I think right about now we're going to start releasing everything in real time. So, the best thing you can do is keep up.